I don't think the stream could have stopped on a perfect bit of picture just then. That was perfect. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Have we got some things to get through, right? Hello, everybody. So, let's get stock real quick of who's here for a second.
All right.
Who is here right now? Alright, so after a lot of being messed around, data collection 100 there, by the way, we have everything that we're going to find, pretty much. So now I suppose what happens now is we kind of connect the dots and figure out what's going on here, don't we? So, I guess we'll start with the emails because that's the easiest thing to go through. So we'll get some like important names down here and information. So let's start at the beginning of the list here and then work our way up through the list because this all starts on, well, at the bottom because those are the oldest emails, and the top one is something else. Yeah, we'll just go through it and then I'll think how to go from there. But yeah, straight away, we've got some big information here. We've got someone called I've Laster. We've got Ria Vorte. We've got Lib Moussi. And Paul Miner. Oh, wait. We've got Paul Miner. We've got Ro. Reefer. Is there anyone else there? Ive, Rhea, Lib. Oh wait, I misheard that. That's Paula Miner, not Paul Miner. Duh. Duh. Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. Have a nice weekend. This was on December 9th, 2019, apparently. I'm on leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need a schedule service. I'm on leave the rest of the week. Contact Ravi if you need to schedule server time. But I expect my jobs to run for a few days since we've collected so much data this week. How about we arrange a meeting to discuss the results when I return? So we can comfortably say I've Laster is some kind of programmer or scientist or something who's running experiments with a program. Of some description. So, move on from that. Oh wait, no, it actually says senior engineer. I should pay more attention to the actual email information. That would help. Senior engineer. So he's in head of this is probably the person in charge of the project. Let's go to Ria Vort. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard on the control simulation. I can't imagine how tedious it must have been to delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her without disrupting our connection to the VM.
System administrator. That's usually higher than senior engineer.
Okay, so we got system admin, Ria Vort. Now there's a couple of things there. We was wondering what VM meant before, but we assumed it might mean virtual. We assumed it might mean virtual machine or something like that.
It is.
Can't imagine how tedious it must have been to delicately hide Monica's elevated permissions from her. Now that could be read in one of two ways. Are they saying hide Monica's elevated permissions in the system from herself? Or hide Monica's elevated permissions from someone else on the team?
It could be from herself because she is a knowledgeable AI that knows how to work things on her own.
Just to clarify, all the recordings labelled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? Hello, Rose. Yes, hello. Big hugs to you. We've found all the clues now. We're putting everything together. We're on the putting everything together phase.
We are really getting into the lore today.
Just to clarify, all the recordings labelled side stories are part of the control simulation, right? I'm noticing some details of the characters' lives here and there that differ a little bit from those in the Virtual Machine 1. Even trivial ones. Is it part of the butterfly effect from some of Monica's more fundamental changes? Or is it a result of her messing around with the other characters in VM1 as her own experiment, or for fun? So are they... See, this is something we wondered about before, in that is every little version of Doki Doki Literature Club, I suppose you could... Is every little copy of the game, or the program, or whatever you want to call it, almost like a separate parallel universe that they've explained, that they've put together or something? Because that's one of the things that confuses me, because it sounds like they're talking about the side story. Are the side stories... I mean, obviously it has the same characters, yes. That's in terms of design and everything like that. But are they the same universe? Or is it a separate parallel universe on a separate path? This is where it gets confusing.
Like, we've been through maybe like two, because the side stories that kind of differ off from the normal one.
I mean, here it's saying, so if I'm keeping track, we have like 5 universes in total, with 3 or 4 of them created and then developed by Monica. Oh, I'm sorry, with 3 or 4 of them created and then destroyed by Monica.
One being Sayuri, one being Yuri, one being Natsuki. Then the last one being reality, which it would be with you and her. So that's around 4.
That makes sense. 3 or 4 universes refers to... Whoa. So are they saying the side story is a unit? The side stories is one universe. The story where you make Sayori happy is a universe. The story where you make Yuri happy is a universe. The story where you make Natsuki happy is a universe. And the universe where everyone's indifferent about you is the 5th one? I don't know if that's what they mean. Something to think about.
Yeah, because she destroyed every single one, and pretty much her own. So she made up her own place at the end there.
Anyway. 4 of them create a source. I think stream temporarily died. The view count went weird.
Yeah, it went to 3. I'm making sure everything's working fine on my end.
It's funny. Of course, it's funny because Of course, it's funny because I keep wanting to speculate on which one is the real universe, but in reality, they all are, as real as ours is anyway. Character discrepancy. Having run... This is from LibMusi, someone else again. Oh, they're just a regular engineer. This guy. Having run the control simulation for a while, it's evident that a certain character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself. What? I need to reread this to understand. Having run this control simulation for a while, it's evident that a certain character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself as a way of forcing interaction as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character has such a limited and dissonant personality traits? Am I reading too much into this? I'm open an issue to start tracking info and observations on the anomaly of this character appearing. Now, we briefly went over this before. I still have a theory that that might be Sayori, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. OMG from Ivelaster. Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? I think it's hilarious, but for God's sake, don't tell Paula. Ha 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 ha. It would get 404'd in a microsecond. Are you just relaying her tweets manually, or did you code some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the contents of the tweets, e.g. not screaming for help, I assume they're coming from the control simulation. So now there's the implication that there's versions where things are highly moderated, and there's other ones where they let the chains off Monica a bit more, let's just say. Stay focused on our goals. As a reminder to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How does granting elevated access to the virtual machine affect a person's emotional state? How does granting elevated access to the virtual machine affect a person's value and goals? How does someone effectively navigate an experiment with their ability to change the contents of the virtual machine? How is elevated access being weaponized? What actions and values most contribute to the destruction of the universe? Most importantly, how might your observations apply to our universe? Bonus, how can we present this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the colour scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and it risks the drawing of eyes. Paula Miner as project manager.
She could be a little bit lower than the system administration. Like right below them.
Well, project manager is the person who says, we want to do this thing, how do we do this thing? They're the person who organises everyone else. They might not have the technical knowledge, but they would be the glue that sticks everybody together and keeps them on task.
Okay.
Ethics. Simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of ethics just because we're the ones to do this Simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of ethics just because we're the first ones to do this, to our knowledge. That's the government's job to find out long after we've made enough headway for it to no longer apply to us. It's fundamentally flawed to apply ethical reasoning to this anyway, because humanity's code of ethics is based upon nothing more than our knowledge and understanding of life forms similar to ourselves. We don't have ethics for killing bacteria or plants, only for the creatures that we can convincingly project our emotions onto. The humans in our virtual machines operate completely differently from us on a fundamental level, and therefore should not be taken any more seriously than a machine that's programmed to print "I feel sad." Programmed to print "I feel sad." We're engineers, not philosophers, who might possibly be playing God. So I don't know if they've created sentient life, but they're certainly playing with it.
It could be a little bit of both.
Issues caused by an unprotected memory. Has anyone evaluated the side effects that might be caused by sharing a memory pool between multiple virtual machines rather than allocating them separately. I'm looking at some of the files the virtual memory 1 is generating, and I'm finding some information that definitely shouldn't be there. I haven't seen any evidence that this is actually affecting the inside of the virtual machine itself, so I don't think this is a priority, but it's definitely worth noting. My best guess is that the memory being freed from virtual machine 2 isn't getting zeroed out, which technically does give virtual machine 1 access to it. All the info I have will go into the issue tracker, but I wanted to check if anyone else already noticed something along those lines. Ravi Razzo, also systems engineer. Binary data in virtual machine 2. Rotiva. They're also a systems engineer. We got lots of systems engineers here, and a couple of people were really important. So it looks like the most important people is Ive Laster, Ria Vaught, and Paul Miner. These are names we might need to hang on to, make a note of.
I'm holding on to Ive Laster name still.
Paul Miner's a very important one, I would say too.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, Paula Miner. I don't know why I keep saying Paul Miner. Anyway, I've made some headway with Virtual Machine 2. Don't get too excited. It's still impossible to establish any kind of stable connection, but it occurred to me that I could at least run a memory dump through some pattern analysis routines to see if we can decipher any digital data from the virtual machine. I didn't want to hog all the server time on a hunch, but I have some preliminary results that indicate the presence of binary computer systems. Based on this, I'm going to schedule 3 days of server time next week to isolate any chunks of memory that appear to be binary data. If successful, we'll definitely be able to find some encoded texts and get our first glimpses of Virtual Machine 2. Don't mind me though, just keep going nuts on Virtual Machine 1 and hopefully I'll have more to share soon. I'm convinced Virtual Machine 1 is the Doki Doki game.
What would the other Virtual Machine be? Virtual Machine 2? Have you seen?
You're getting ahead of yourself here, Ducky.
I need to. I need I need to speculate so hard.
Let's move on. We need to have a meeting about shifting our focus a little bit. We've reset Virtual Machine 1 how many times now? For real, we've definitely collected as much data as we can from it at this point. We just need to work on what we have and try to increase the stability of our connection to Virtual Machine 2. We've obviously gotten spoiled by the ease of access that Virtual Machine 1 offers us, but it's just unrealistic for someone in real life to be granted that level of elevation even close to monitor kernel access. Now remember that term. That is a very important term. It also looks very similar to a certain character's name. If we can't establish a stable connection to Virtual Machine 2, then how can we expect to get anywhere when the same scenario inevitably occurs to our own universe? What? Excuse me, what?
Did you not read over this before?
This is new. I have not read this one.
Oh, this is the first one, the new one. Yeah.
This is the newest email. Anyway, thanks to Rose's work, we were able to acquire a few rudimentary logs, and I have an idea on how to increase connection stability to Virtual Machine 2 while maintaining weak hypervision access to everyone inside on an individual basis. Ironically, it has to do with something that they're building in their own virtual machine. I'll go into detail in a more formal report, but some of the log files indicate attempts of theirs to pull together the access potential of multiple individuals into a single parallel unit. It sounds ridiculous, but if they actually get somewhere with it, then we might have a solid entry point that doesn't heavily intrude upon the virtual machine. I'm going to spin up a read-only hypervisor that we can use to test different ideas like this. For anyone who doesn't know what read-only means, read-only on a computer is this thing where computers, how things tend to work is they tend to have data that you can read or write, which basically means you can look at the data and you can change it. When something is read-only, you can only look at the data or make a copy of it. You can't change the contents. That's what read-only means. The elevation level will be set to monitor adjacent runtime level access. The virtual machine will just be named test virtual machine for now, although the parallel access unit they're building in the virtual machine seems to be called Project Libertina.
Oh.
According to the few logs we have, we can change the name once we actually get a decent picture of it.
I wonder if this is going to connect to that website.
Now, to put everybody up to speed here, in the original Doki Doki, there was a lot of Easter eggs inside that game. Things like if you went into the character files and you decoded the character files, you would find more information in there. And one of the things that you will find in the Easter eggs, let me just double check I get the website address correct, is a website called Project Libertina. Unfortunately, I don't have the bloody web address. 1 second. It is an actual website you can go on. I just need to bloody find it. Yeah, projectlibertinia.com. I'm going to put it in chat so you don't even have to type it out. And as you can see from this documentation, there appears to be information where they're doing experiments on at least 2 different individuals.
They bring up the third eye damn thing too.
They bring up the third eye. All the supernatural powers of the characters, we're just going to colloquially refer to as the third eye, because that just seems to be the thing that makes the most sense at this point.
Yeah, it says they are basically pressing on activating it, but somehow can't suppress it.
So now we know that's all the mail. We spent a long period of time going through the side stories, which were all quite sweet and wholesome, I might add, compared to the main game. However, if we keep scrolling down, we will find I have no idea what that is. This could be wholesome as hell. It could be a horrific nightmare. It could be this theory that people have that there's a 5th girl, and as soon as we open the game, we might have some character we've never seen before, almost like screaming their lungs out or something.
Survey says a horrific nightmare.
I'm just making sure I'm braced so I don't fall off my chair or some shit. Oh, fuck.
You ready?
No. But let's go anyway. Attempting to decode binary data. This is similar to the program that runs when This is Genius has made incredible contributions to Project Libertania despite having no third connection lost. Fuck. I'm screenshotting that. Damn it.
I wonder if you could decode the rest of the text too somehow.
Insisted on upgrading the computer systems, going on about backups and protecting data. Nobody touches my person AI data.
Oh, fuck.
I think I know what we have to do. Do you know what we have to do?
No, I was gonna say don't open it a third time. I'm not prepared for a third time.
I think I know what's happening. I will explain to everybody.
Shoot.
It looks like that entire message is a scrambled mess, but it's able to retrieve small pieces of the data, but not all at once. So what you've got to do is piece together the bits of information you can put together. Who don't have a third eye struggle to understand what a current science cannot tell me. I am disregarding. Shit. We have to keep doing this until we have all the pieces of the puzzle, and then I've got to put this in Photoshop, which I'm opening right now, to piece everything together.
Yeah, that'd be the best idea. Is put them together to see what does this say, and if there's any more hidden behind it.
Indicates only 80% or less of nutrients and medical supplements are needed to keep the body alive, compared to non-amputated. What the fuck? I lied, it's actually hot. What? Two guardian angels condemned to blindness who seek a guiding light to their. Two guardian angels condemned to blindness who seek a guiding light in their eternal prison. Is far stronger during collective sessions, which makes me believe the Nexus will have incredible. The fuck? How many of these are there?
Yeah, the message might look short from here with the scrambled text because it might but it might be even longer than this.
The Nexus extends beyond any comprehension of the material world. Alrighty, Philip, see you soon. Immediate of some sort. We do not. Oh my god.
There's a lot. I was hoping to find an image with the entire thing already done, but there's a fucking lot to put together.
I have a theory on how it'll work, but we'll try it in a minute. We're still collecting. One job at a time, Ducky. I lied, it's actually hot. No. It's done it again, fuck. That's in a different location to before, though, right?
I think so.
The key to opening a powerful channel lies in eroding the tether between... Eyes open and measure any noticeable difference. Eyes open and measure any notable difference in response to danger, pain, food, and sexual stimulus. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's up?
Okay, for a second I thought it was grabbing things from that website.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Damn it, it's in a different location now. I think we can still make this work, if we're lucky. That of the Nexus extends beyond the comprehension of the material world. I don't know if it's going to give us any more information than this. A lot of this is a garbled mess. Male and infertile children can still be trained for specialized... What the fuck? Of which rooms will need doors and windows renovated to accommodate the projected increase in... Damn it. I don't know if this is all one message or or multiple messages of like parts different. Absolute genius, and has made incredible contributions to Project Libertinia despite having no third. Fuck! Fuck, I need a screenshot of that one. Ah! Ducky, someone clip that so I can screenshot it or something.
That one right there, I got it.
Thank you.
Clipping now.
Get a screenshot of it if you can, the whole thing.
Got you in a few seconds.
Is the increased potency from proximity to others a temporary effect, or does it have a lasting impact on the strength of their third eye?
I got it.
Thank you.
Posted in the channel in a second. There you go.
Gradual changes to the scripture. Gradual changes to the scripture class curriculum to incorporate. What the fuck? How many of these are there? Test focusing on each of these emotional responses to determine which. Ah, it's that one again. I'm gonna do this one. The next time it repeats a bit of text, I'm gonna try start putting pieces together and see what I can find. Of which dissociation is a symptom. Of which disassociation is a symptom, I should say. I can make an educated guess and say that's them talking about the side effects of when the third eye kicks in. Disassociation of the world around you, probably.
Seems like it.
Like dogs what the fuck? Like dogs genetically molded by humans and unconditionally loyal in exchange for food and shelter. The fuck, man? May actually produce tiny but detectable physical distortions in the area surrounding them. We might consider... A number of specialized professions will need to. What the fuck? Number of specialized professions will need to staff, such as additional nurses and reproductive something.
Oh god, how many pictures are there, you might be asking?
Has become an increasingly scientific endeavor thanks to something. This has basically turned to a Photoshop stream. Are speculated to improve their eye potency by puberty. The new something. With my Photoshop skills, I think I can layer all of this on top of itself and then clean out all the crap. It is far stronger during collective sessions, which makes me believe the Nexus will have incredible something. Oh, nutrition during child development. What the hell? Now I'm jumping to conclusions a little bit here with this next thing I'm going to say. But there's a slim chance that there might be also multiple universes in our universe who have done this same experiment and somehow they've come across one another's data, even though it's a garbled mess. But that's me jumping several steps ahead here, making an educated guess. I'm not saying that's for sure, that's just a theory I'm crafting. Distance from the religion, which is an academy. Sorry, start again. Distance from the religion, which is the academy. Why can't I suddenly speak? Distance from the religion which the academy was once known to practice. Religion requires faith. This is undeniable truth. Okay. So we just learnt another thing, which is that this science experiment institution also once had some kind of religion they believed in that they've probably tossed out the window in faith of whatever this is.
I love how we go from schoolgirls to virtual machines to laboratories to religion.
I'm not even surprised anymore at this point. The key to becoming a powerful channel lies in eroding the tether. Oh, this one again. Shit. The observable changes in physical appearance, however small, already prove this to be more than the usual spiritual nonsense. Opening the third eye creates a deep brain channel which causes sentient characteristics such as consciousness and free thought. So we don't know if we're dealing with human beings here, but we do know we're dealing with some sort of life form that they know how to turn the abilities on and off of. That's what I can gather from this. Adulthood to receive professional training in something. The most frustrating part is we don't know if this is all one document that is having trouble decoding or multiple ones. By age 5, children tested above the threshold will be transferred to Wing A, while all something. But my third eye shows me 2 of them. I can't make sense of... We already know there's 2 people... We already knew there was at least 2 of them with the third eye. Though we're not 100% sure who the second one is. The second one's more speculation. I lied, it's actually hot. Material resistant to third eye penetration, electromagnetic. Well, I guess the question we should ask ourselves now is, do we want to try and decode us ourselves, or if it's already online, do we want to look this up?
I haven't really seen it online. I've just seen like the 40 different pictures of it online, all like scrambled together.
So the pictures are online, but no one's put them together yet.
Nope, I didn't see any file for it.
You're saying there's 60?
Well, pretty much close to that, yeah. When it would tell me to look for the files, it would show me there load 40 more images.
54, 42, 15, 20... What?
I do have every sentence though, without the garbled text inside of there. There's 55.
All have functional reproductive systems, then we could produce new potent children with incredible efficiency, and sudden death would be less. This is getting more fucked up the more we find out.
Skay.
What? What's up,
Yeah.
Ducky? I'm guessing someone's grabbed all the individual phrases, right?
Yes, without the actual garbled text right there around it.
Okay.
Gave it to you just now.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We
Yeah, you
have
get to do it 55 times. And the last one is very specific on something.
Has really no one tried to layer these images on top of one another?
Doesn't seem like it. I couldn't find anything about it.
I feel like I need to try this. This might be a complete waste of time, but I feel like we need to try it. At least once. Shit. Yeah, they have not made this easy, have they?
One bit.
Oh, wait! Oh, no, never mind. I got excited over nothing. Fuck. Yeah, there's no quick way to go through this that I can see. This is probably the hardest thing to decode of the bunch of stuff. There's at least 2 documents here. I'm confident of that now. Maybe even 3. What's frustrating me right now is I'm using a picture viewer to try and see what's going on, and it's running like shit, and I'm just like, I want to fucking see the images. Come on. Give me a minute. Let's try this one. How are we doing, everybody, by the way? Sudden silence. You okay there? Why has it gone so quiet? Okay, this isn't funny. Everyone disappearing all at once.
What's up?
What happened? Everybody went quiet. Literally everyone.
I don't think anything broke.
Because I just talked and no one was saying anything or responding or nothing for a good 5 minutes then.
It could be, could be the game.
You're not funny. I kill you.
Later.
Later. Steam. User data. Also, hi Hextrix. I see you lurking in chat.
Yeah, you're trying to answer your question about the computer thing.
Let me just grab this information a second. Shit. Wait. 1, 3.
I can't put my head around these fucking messages still.
Oh, I'm just gonna have to open all these in fucking Photoshop, aren't I? That's annoying.
The thing is, you can't really glue them together because they seem like they're out of place.
It's seeming that way, yeah. For sure. If my computer decides to be a douche and freeze up, I apologize ahead of time. Should be alright, but just in case. I don't see an easy way to piece this together.
Not at all.
Hi Hextrix, I assume, who's in the chat. Hi there.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go silent for a minute there. I was just doing something on my own real quick with family stuff.
It wasn't the fact that you went quiet, it was the fact everyone went quiet. That's what fucked with me. I was like, what the fuck? Hello there, Hextrix. We have found a rabbit hole inside of a rabbit hole inside of a rabbit hole, my dude. Look at this nonsense. So we know there's a garbled message. I'm also fairly sure there's more than one message there. I'm positive there's more than one message in that garbled mess. Like, it's not always recalling the same message. It's almost like a few different emails or memos or something.
Yeah, it does seem like that.
But anyway, rather than spending ages speculating over that, let's move on, shall we? Back to that file list from before, though the annoying thing with this is we have to play with the time for this. Oh, God. Where was that thing I had from before? I might have closed it down by mistake. So okay, let's try and tackle these in order. I mean, before we do anything else, everyone knows about this stuff. This is the stuff that the game creates while all the weird shit's happening and everything. These are old news, all these things. The sentient AI or whatever is in the game, Monica. This is just experiencing this hell over and over and over and over again.
It's a weird kind of hell that we just can't escape this yet.
But if we go into internal... That wasn't this one. Where was it? Back up. Meeting notes 1. Okay. Updated development timeline, new tasks, test cases for a genetic model, server time optimization idea, automatic data collection, data migration to encrypted file share Monday, virtual machine 2 Roblox, row on virtual machine 2, row reefer. Row reefer's working on virtual machine 2, everyone else on virtual machine 1 for data collection. Ideas for data search types, visual renders, audio data, virtual machine environmental changes, persistent variable tampering timestamps, passing thought patterns, no excessive server time needed, meeting over time, you know who went on too many tangents again. I need to be more assertive without staying focused. Something else I forgot to mention earlier as well, actually. When I went into the music list and I was playing the music and everything, I mean, there's 2 files here now, which you'll notice have the same file name. That wasn't how it was when I first played it. When I first played the file, it started playing this. All wholesome, cute and sweet, everything's fine, But the first time I played the file, what actually happened was it started like that, and then it kind of molded into this file, which now seems to be its own thing.
Huh. So kind of Halloween as musical most.
There's a voice in there. It's not. It's very hard to make out what they're saying though. It's the only thing I can make out from the voice is it sounds like some kind of girl. I don't know if it's a younger girl or an older woman or something. All I know is they sound traumatized as fuck, and I don't know if they're actually forming audible words there.
I would say if you want to put the music through one of their sound testing that has an image of the sound waves.
I'm not that good with sounds, unfortunately.
I mean, there's an app for it that automatically does it for you.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't remember how the name of it. There's apps where on your computer where you actually just put in a sound file and has like a sound wave that sometimes in some games they end up having a little image inside the sounds for some reason. Like in Cuphead, they had like the devil's character actually in the sound if you pirated the game.
Wise words at a time like this, Philippesi? Really? You get an IOU for wise words later. Yeah, you get a Just Monica. That's what you get. Let me see. Now this next thing is kind of dumb because I have to change the time on my computer to be able to look at this. So, change. Infrastructure, software, communication systems. We understand the modern day changes of running an enterprise company with efficiency and reliability. That's why you can count on us to get the job done, so you can focus on the business that matters most. With world-class engineers and industry-leading specialists, Metaverse Enterprise Solutions will always deliver solutions that last. Cost per year analysis shows that the Metaverse solution saves up to 30% in the long run, and our flexible support model ensures that quality can be delivered at the price point that is right for your company size. Your time is valuable. That's why from planning to design to installation, our experts do the work for you. Filling out our simple questionnaire is all it takes for our team to recommend the right plan to provide an affordable quote. Excellence is right around the corner. With solutions you can count on and experts you can trust, it is our promise to you, you're in good company. The fuck is Metaverse Enterprise Solutions?
They could be investigating different universes, of course, from what we've seen so far.
Next file. Meeting notes 2. Let's go to meeting notes 2. If I gave a refund, Ducky did it.
I did already. I was gonna say let him save it for later. Well, as we're doing this.
Shit. Shit. No! It changed the time. Damn it.
1 minute later, suddenly.
Lib, promising work on recording simulation activity into playable script. Playable, observable form, not a game. Stay focused, Ive. Stay focused, Ive. Pretending to type important things while waiting for everyone else to get back on topic. 4:30, still target end time. Assigning names to simulated entities for easier reference. A, B, C, D should suffice. 1, 2, 3. Using real names only encourages treating them like pets rather than stimulated entities. Everyone is trying to come up with stupid names now. Create identical virtual machine without entity having elevated access permissions. Create identical virtual machine without entity having elevated access permissions. Seems unlikely. Nothing has come close so far. Clone virtual machine 1. Some elevated access but prevent the entity from discovering it. Seems tricky but plausible. Meeting over time again. I know that feel. I've typed gibberish like that before. It's like, please name your file. Okay, so meeting notes number 3. Right. 0, 3, 0. Uwu. Freaking uwu.
Wait, what?
It's the shape 030 uwu.
Oh no.
Well, kind of uwu. Progress. Meeting notes 3. Control simulation progress. Idea snapshot slate earlier in time. Compare end of control sim to start of virtual machine 1. Better comparison than both being parallel. Mature control sim versus reference virtual machine 1. Easier to detect failures to hide elevated access permissions. Fifth entity in virtual machine 1? Question mark. Not part of original genetic model. Not present in data dumps. Very bizarre. Ive is less talkative today. Meeting ending on time? Question mark. 12:15. Oh my god. Some of this relates to those other emails as well. What else have we got? One. Whoops, didn't go backwards far enough. 1, 5. One's missing. One of them's freaking missing. And this one doesn't have a 5. The hell? In folder 501 14. Change the time again to 2:14. Dearest Ive, where are the... Who is Ive? Was that from the name list we made?
could have been.
I've Laster, programmer, scientist, senior engineer. Yeah, we did make a note of the name before. Okay. Dearest Ive, where are the years going? Doesn't it feel like ever since we graduated, we're just the same doofy college kids, but we're just being put into increasingly adult situations? It's hard to believe how much can happen in just 1 year, but all my memories this year are full of reminders why you've been my best friend for so long. My gratitude for you is higher reaching than the mountains. I'm gonna live in after faking my death. Throwback to you actually entertaining that plan after helping me break up with Defen. I can't even pronounce that name, sorry. To this day, I can never tell how serious or joking you are about things, or life in general, but I think I would literally implode if I didn't have you to remind me that things never matter as much as they seem in the moment, and that things will always be okay. Imagine if we really do end up working together at Metaverse. That's literally the only way I can think I'd be capable of coping with a mundane desk job. I know you said that your referral of me won't go very far because you're not a senior engineer, but as I'm coming out of my rough patch, it's the future I imagine for myself every day. I'm sorry for always being such a bundle of stress. I always feel like I want to be doing more for you because the amount you do for me just seems more than anything I could give back. You inspire me to always to improve, and when I don't believe in myself, I stay motivated to become a better person so that I can deliver all my best qualities to you. I love you and I always will until we face the end of the world together. The fuck? Wishing for another 14 million years of friendship. With everlasting love, Paula. So the project manager and the program and the senior engineer had a thing going on.
Thing is, how far did that get? And did this person sabotage anything? Did they break up or say no?
Do we have anything else? Fuck. Okay, next one, I guess. Excuse me. Internal. 2, 2, 1. Project line. Can't open it. Okay, got to change the time again. We didn't do this one already, did we, chat?
Let me see.
Oh boy. Oh boy, the big information. I do. I think we read this last time, but I'm gonna refresh my memory. Like, we didn't read this today, but we read this another day.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, it's the first day.
Project plan outline, high level overview, create human readable version of Fabric benchmark results, suggesting we live in simulated universe, emulate Fabric benchmark results in virtualized environment, build parameters for genetic iterations, custom elevated access levels from one or more entities, iterate until simulation is stable for target time threshold. This is a small scale simulated universe. Observe effects of elevated access knowledge of simulation, collect record data, pitch findings to upper management as profitable venture. Note, do not go through Barry, go straight to upper management, get promoted, job saved. Possible team members, row. More notes to add. Because we looked at this before, but I've never made notes on it properly till now. So, row reefer, system engineer, has the most knowledge access to quantum server. Ravi, second to row. Lib Musi, also an engineer. Fixed naming scheme conflict with lib folder, because Libitalia, probably. I've Laster, programmer scientist, senior engineer. Sure, why not? Others. VM2, current project, small scale simulation. Future project, medium scale simulation. Virtual Machine 1 details literature, production of text assets, easy data collection, for entities, characters, small physical space, efficient for server and genetic iterations, highly elevated access permission, creates very stable connection window for data collection in exchange for less realistic simulated scenarios. It really does seem like they've found some way of creating kind of digitized sentient life, as well as like an environment to put them into. But because of, in Monica's words, because of, I suppose, a real world environment having infinite choices, you need to find a way to limit choices they have. So basically, I suppose everything doesn't spiral out of control, and the easiest way to do that would be something like a choose your own adventure like environment, or a dating sim, or a visual novel, because there's only a limited amount of outcomes that could happen within the parameters that they'd be given. It's me trying to connect the dots here, but I feel like we're running out of leads.
Thing is, I'm sure once we run out of leads, we're gonna get something else.
I really feel like we've almost exhausted everything at this point. All that's left is to decode that binary information.
Did you look at number 55 about the time in the code only?
What do you mean 55?
The thing I sent you.
Hold on.
In the Doki Doki VC.
You mean in the Doki one? Are you talking about, or
Yes.
test VM? Yeah, all those pieces. Well, that's all the pieces of text that we found. People just haven't managed to piece it together yet.
Yeah, there's one that says 54, 42, 15, 214. The clock being 214 for something.
Yeah, but the problem is 54, 42, 15. Those could be folder number names, but problem is they only go up to 5. So I don't know how you would transfer that information over. Well, now that we've exhausted everything else, I can tell you one other piece of information I found as well is every time you want to, well, everyone knows, I suppose, at this point how the game ends. No matter what, Monica deletes everything and the game stops working, and you need a way to get that working again, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is literally a program in here which will reset the game and delete all these extra files that the game created, or rather, I should say, Monica created. So let's run that and pay close attention to exactly what the text says when it's running this command line. Reset this virtual machine. All modified entities, environments, and data will be reverted to their original state. In particular, there's one part I noticed where it refers to 4 different entities. And it has like, well, we'll see it. We'll see it. Connecting, connected, stopping virtual machine, stopped, beginning virtual machine restore, restoring entities, entity something something none, entity something something none, entity something something none, entity 4, monitor kernel access. And that resets the game. Those 4 entities are the 4 characters, and you'll notice as well the last one has that thing called monitor kernel access. That is injecting the code, or whatever you want to call it, into that character, giving them the third eye. But obviously, it's like Groundhog Day, multiple universes and shit. So the game is reset. So the game has been reset now, but Monica has the third eye. But because how everything works, as far as I understand it, for some reason, it's almost like they can make multiple copies of this universe, like a blank slate, like a moment in time.
It seems like it, yeah.
And then they just slap in these extra bits of AI, like, hey, let's give Monica what we're calling the third eye and see what happens. But because you're almost like repeating history, the same outcome's going to happen every time, pretty much, in that limited scenario world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Monica's going to quietly lose her mind and then be like, nothing matters, so I can do what I want, as long as I'm happy. That also all that matters.
I'm still trying to figure out who actually would give her the file for monitor kernel access, really.
This is the parts we're still trying to figure out.
The
biggest clue is that binary information that we don't have a way to decode right now.
Yeah. It's like you have to go through certain qualifications to even accept such a file, since it controls literally everything when you use it. If it's called monitor kernel access.
But according to the internet, there is 55 lines of text which have been deciphered from that binary code, and no one's tried to assemble it all together yet. It's only a matter of time, really, before someone figures this out.
Yeah, I hate the last one still. It says, I think you know what this means.
It's a long shot, but let's try it.
Yeah, I looked at I looked at all three of those numbers on that list that was on there, but there was nothing there anyway. Either.
It won't let you put in numbers, damn it.
Here's the thing though, it has a time on it as well, like an actual clock time again, like the other ones.
Yeah, but where'd you put the numbers, though? That's the problem. There's nowhere to put them.
No, I know. Just like, there's no hints of that bit yet.
What does chat think? Chat is very quiet.
Dan's just fucking going insane, laughing at everyone to try to figure this one thing out.
What do you think, chat? I mean, I feel like I mostly understand this, personally, based on the information we've been given. There's just a few computer terms here and there that I don't necessarily understand, but probably the easiest way to make sense of a lot of it is they seem to be making almost like sentient AI life, and they're trying to see what happens when they put that AI in under like certain situations and stresses. But obviously you have to put restrictive parameters onto those characters, because otherwise they would run amok. You've got to put them into some kind of construct. And things like having a virtual machine and things like that is like a simulated, safe, enclosed environment, a walled garden, if you will. But they also have it in such a way that they save a certain state of that data. So you could treat it as like, oh, I'm saving a Word document which has this many words and everything in it. Or you could also see it as a thing of like, this walled garden is like a tiny, small little universe, and we've saved it at this moment in time. We can now keep bringing back that one moment in time and then trying different things to see how the universe and the characters we put in it would react in different ways. Though why exactly they want to play around with this third eye thing, I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
don't
a
understand.
AI.
I don't understand the end goal of that. But all that garbled information seems to imply that this is almost like all the garbled information seems to imply that they're trying to work on not even necessarily super soldiers, but like the next evolution of human beings almost.
I was thinking though, like maybe Monica is pretty much one of the test subjects, really, but they're only trying to get her approval through it to see how it works on Libitalia.
I think there's deliberately a lot of information that's missing, though. I think this might be going down the Five Nights at Freddy's route, and I have a feeling there will be another game now, and I don't know how I feel about that. Because all the magic that made this game interesting and mind blowing and everything was purely virtue of the fact that it had never been done before. When we start going down sequel territory, that's gonna be a much harder thing to sell, and then it becomes much more driven by the lore, in my honest opinion.
And before there's Doki Doki Literature College or something.
It could be all kinds of things. It could be a bloody Portrait of Markov game for all we know.
I don't want to go down this route anymore.
I don't really want to either, if I'm perfectly honest. But I really do feel like we've very much exhausted a lot of what we can do right now. Apart from trying to decipher all that binary code, we've kind of hit a roadblock now. We've found out about as much as we're going to find out. It's really a case of, do we want to invest hours on end trying to figure this out, or wait until the internet inevitably figures this out? Because it will. It will, without a shadow of a doubt. So, I guess closing statements now, really, for this game, because I can't think of much else we can do unless someone else has an idea.
I don't have one right now. Maybe when the internet figures it out, we can come back to this and give our own opinions on the topic that might happen.
So, closing thoughts. That's a funny little detail. They've all got their mic turned on except for Yuri. It's like, I think this picture was actually done for, like, social distancing or something.
It was, yes. It was announced on the actual Twitter forward that this was for that. As a little detail back in, like, last year.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, let me go to another artwork while we think about this. Or while I wrap up everything I was going to say, really. Final thoughts. I mean, the core game hasn't really changed. The core game for this hasn't really changed at all. What they've really done is they've extended the universe itself. So it really does feel like a case of, hey, did you like what we did in the beginning? Do you want more of that? Well, here it is for you. And it's an interesting way to do it, because, like, when it comes to fandoms for anything, sometimes you can get snobby people who are like, but how much do you really know? How much of a fan are you? And this is an interesting way of doing it, in that there are people who played Doki Doki who will literally just play the main game, and that will be it.
And none of the Easter egg stuff or hidden secrets.
Nothing else. That'll be enough for them. And there's nothing wrong with that, because, as I've said before, this game is almost like everything that makes this game smart, clever, and ingenious and everything is the magic trick side of it. But the problem with magic tricks is once you know how a magic trick works, it's not so magical anymore. Unfortunately. And if I'm perfectly honest, this updated version has actually lost a little bit of the magic trick to it. And allow me to explain my reasoning for that. The reasoning is because this game was primarily made for consoles. So in order to make the magic trick work, we'll just call it magic trick. In order to make that work, they had to create a simulated kind of computer desktop. Whereas everyone else before who played the game was like, what do you mean I have to go into the files on my computer to delete this? What? Oh my god. But yeah, it's nice that you can now play this on pretty much anything now, but in some ways I do feel like the original has a little bit more of the charm. Like, if I was showing Doki Doki to someone for the first time, I would actually recommend the free version to them. I wouldn't recommend this version to them. This is more almost like people who just won't touch a PC at all. They'd rather play on console all the time. Or just for people who are like, you want more Doki Doki? Here's more Doki Doki.
Yeah, I just actually brought out a lot of information that we're still trying to decode even now.
That's all extra stuff, though. That's like the that's just like the, hey, you want to keep this franchise going, you want to see what the extra lore is and everything. Okay, it's there. You don't have to look at it, but it's there if you want it. Which is a really interesting way of approaching things, but it makes everything really strange. I mean, they're very self-aware. They're calling the company Metaverse and everything. It's all very self-aware of the multi-levels of what everything actually is versus just a story about some cute girl characters with mental health problems, which in and of itself is an unusual thing you don't normally see in games. But everything else is going almost like down the Five Nights at Freddy's route of like, this franchise might never die because people are trying to decode the extra lore, and yeah. But yeah, I've kind of run out of other things to say, really. We haven't found out too much more than I knew in the first place, really. I mean, this is the thing with games with lore now, I've noticed, is a lot of them seem to have this thing where I'm going to find out more things now to try and crack this case, and then it suddenly becomes a case of, I have more questions now than I do who have answers. This didn't help at all, which is kind of what's happened here a little bit. Although I will say the side stories was a nice little addition. It was a bit strange that I had to jump through all those hoops to unlock them, but the side stories was like a nice little extra thing at the end. Even though we didn't technically it wasn't the last thing we did, it was a nice extra.
Yeah, it would have been a little unfair just to be unlocked from the beginning and no one touches the rest of the game.
It makes the thing with the side story stuff is it actually fleshes out, I suppose, maybe the game seeming more like an actual story dating sim thing rather than a horror, jump scary, psychological horror magic trick that once you experience it once, you can't really experience it again because you've seen most of what's there to be seen. And yeah, I think that covers everything. I can't think of much else to say, really. I'll be interested to know what other things about the lore people figure out. But I don't know if I will play future games in the series if they are a thing that happen. I assume they will at this point. There's too much money on the table that they'll be ignoring.
Well, they might do something here and there. Hell, they might even hit into a spin-off game like a whole thing of lore.
But on that note, I think we can end there. As I say, we might talk more about Doki in the future, we don't know. But this seems like a good place to end for now, at least, with all the stuff we discovered. So, yeah.
That was pretty good.
This was Skay, and this was Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, and I am out of here,
And
and Ducky, shush, one moment, sorry. This was Doki Doki Literature Club, and as I say, I might come back to this at some point, but I hope I never play another horror game again, apart from possibly more of this. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We might come back to this when more lore is revealed. I don't know. I'll see you later. Bye for now.
until next time.
And that was for the recording. We're not actually leaving. You're being recorded this whole time. Da da da.
We're now part of the lore too.
I really don't have much else to say about this game, really. Although, I will take pictures of these real quick.
Why?
Video assets.
I mean, you could literally pull them from the file somewhere. I'm sure these pictures are in there.
Remember when we was in the 3D version of that room before?
That way for it to go through. Yes.
You're also forgetting something as well, Ducky.
Why?
I could use these in a video. Possibly, maybe.
Depends on what kind of video you're trying to make.
Well, I mean, if I'm putting the highlights of what happened with us on a video, then...
If anything, you might need the characters in them too, but because all of them are blank backgrounds.
Yeah, I think I will end the stream for real now. However, we will be back. We just won't be Doki of overdosing anymore. That we've had our fill of Doki.
Yeah, we still need a plan of what the hell we're gonna do first.
Had my fill of Doki now. No more Dokis.
There's always more Doki later on. Your kid never had too much Doki.
Bye, everybody.
Until in a little while.